This week on We'll Talk Back, can female be the aggressor in the relationship? Our GoFundMe account, the new thing of 2016?
Do you have a Valentine? Will you be a Valentine?
Tune in to this week's episode of We'll Talk Back to find out.
Welcome to We'll Talk Back. I am Marsha. I'm here with my great friend,
Rowan.
And we're so happy you're tuning in today. We have some great topics to discuss with you. But to start, you had this idea of us having a moment of silence for individuals who have passed. By the time you see the show, it will be, when the show airs, it will be the end of January. And unfortunately, so many have passed on due to some tragic, some health-related issue. And in respect to some folks that we know or individuals who are deceased and connected with our viewers, we'd like to do a moment of silence.
From reviewing some of our previous episodes, and especially a detox at the end of December, I noticed that we did not, do a moment of remembrance for those people who have passed in 2015. But for the past few days, the days that have such passed in January of 2016, there seemed to be a multitude of deaths, from famous celebrities to everyday, co-worker, different friends and family member dying of different illness and car accidents. So to stay true to those, it's heartbreaking. So I think for us, we actually have a recent viewer that passed away recently. So I think to show our support for everyone, I figure we can do a brief moment of silence.
Okay. Amen.
And in line with doing that moment of silence, this is just an urgent message for everyone. Life is very short.
It really is.
We do not know how many days, that religious say that our days are numbers. We never know when our last day is, so let's try to live it as happily, as fulfilling as possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We encourage you to live this may sound cliche, but live your best life. And live a life with consideration of how you want to be remembered, because unfortunately, death is the only thing that life promises us.
Death absolutely promises us. Life absolutely promises us death. And with that token, it's not, for us to sit here and badger anyone about death or do any of that. But one of the things that's been very appealing to me most recently is, from a young age, I've always been taught about, mourning of death, grieving of death, preparing for that. And there's a lot of different aspects in preparing for that. One of those aspects is the financial aspects. I can't tell you how sincerely peeved I am every time I go on a special social media and I see a GoFundMe account to bury someone. Let me say this and say this very clear. GoFundMe is not a life insurance policy. It's not your funeral arrangement. It's not any of those aspects. There are some criteria, and in some circumstances, where it's actually warranted.
Yeah, like I can see, if it's an adult, then you had some time to prepare. Children, no one anticipates the death of a child, a young adult, adolescents, even someone who's in their 20s. Yeah, but as we get older, we're more informed on how to prepare.
The big problem with this is, as an individual who has, while they were alive and with us, they had the means to make the necessary preparation for this day. However, they chose to spend their money in other way, whether it's partying, whether it's clubbing, whether it's wearing the new Jordan, the new clothes, However, they did not think about that aspect, and now, you're being blabbed about it. These are things that's supposed to be voluntarily. So even if you were to post a GoFundMe and people were to read it and they did not fund it, it's inappropriate for you to then go ahead and inbox them the obituary to someone that you want them to donate to.
Yeah, that's bad. And do not create GoFundMe accounts for someone's funeral arrangements and you're not directly connected to the family or that person. So then, in turn, you could take that money and present it as if it was from you. I mean, that's grimy. Don't do that. I mean, if a GoFundMe page is created, it should come from someone, a family or close friend, someone directly connected with the family, and they should just be one. Because a lot of times there's multiple GoFundMe page and people have their own agenda as to why they're creating them. That's inappropriate.
Absolutely.
Don't do that.
Well,
Don't do it.
Well, so far I've only seen one GoFundMe page created for a homegoing service that was done appropriately.
Right.
And the family had sat down with the funeral home and they discussed their finances, and the GoFundMe account was linked directly to the funeral home.
That makes sense.
So when you were donating and that aspect, you were aware that it was going towards the funeral service. At these common days, anyone just popping up and they're using this moment of sadness, this moment of grief to tap into your pocketbook, to tap into your wallet, to tap into your bank account, and it's unacceptable.
That's a good point that you're making. So I'm going to say to all of you, if it's not linked to a particular funeral home, let's say that it's not linked to a church or whoever is responsible for this service. Think before you donate to it.
Absolutely.
This GoFundMe thing is out of control. It's out of control. I'm seeing GoFundMe for people's sweet 16 party for their kids. Look, you want a party, put aside money for it. You shouldn't be soliciting donation for a sweet 16 party. If you don't have it, then you probably shouldn't be having a party. Your baby shower, your wedding, your Christmas gifts, your summer cookout, everything. I mean, it's just out of hand. It's out of hand. Learn to save your money, or if you can't afford it, it's no one's responsibility to have a GoFundMe set up because you spent all your money in December and you can't pay your rent and cover your bills now in January.
This is the big thing about it, and people are laughing. Some people are laughing. Some people are haha. There's an appropriate way. And there's an inappropriate way.
Yeah.
I've seen a multitude of, I'm a college student, it's hard for me to pass grade, can you go fund me? What school are you going to? What account is this linked to? What money am I donating this to? I actually have a real true story of someone that I actually know. I'm not going to call them a friend or acquaintance because I just know them through life. This individual put up a GoFundMe for a particular cause, in the gay community. And, they're going to help gay youths, and they're going to do a whole bunch of stuff with gay youths. Within a matter of a few weeks, I will say this person raised over $6,000. That has not made it back to the community. That individual took that GoFundMe money, bought himself a one-bedroom condo, a one-bedroom studio, and has lavishly decorated it from Walmart. And as he liked to call it, his mini mansion. So this is what GoFundMe is doing.
His standards are basic.
Yes.
But his marketing is strong.
And this is absolutely unacceptable. Yeah. If you're thinking about creating a GoFundMe account, don't.
Yeah. You're not going to get my money. I mean, if it's something worthwhile, it's a credible cause, then I'm all for it. I'm a strong supporter. I strongly believe in education. But you know what? If you need that money to cover your educational expenses, then I need to know how to send it to that school directly. I'm not sending it to you. Because we just can't always trust that. I need to know how to get that money to the bursar's office to cover your bill.
Absolutely.
And so give people that option, because there's so much scams going on with this thing, and it has got to stop, because they are genuine, generous folks out there who want to give, but because of some of the behaviors of others, it makes you skeptical of where your money is going.
Well,
all right.
In line with that, for our current What's Good in the World this week, I want to show a lot of times people associate the birth of a new child or being pregnant, you have to do it lavish. You have to have the biggest party. Like you said, you have to do the biggest GoFundMe account for a baby shower. A lot of these different things. We had a viewer that shared a very special video with us that showed us that we can still appreciate the smaller things in life.
Of course.
As it pertains to this wife telling her or informing her deaf husband he's mute, he's unable to speak, so he signs. With different symbols that she's expecting their first child.
And that's beautiful. And I know we started on a morbid note, but one of the beauties of life is the creation of new life. So
Absolutely.
let's take a look at this video.
He's signing to his wife, thanking her for his Christmas gift. He's
It was
signing
a Christmas
paper.
gift or
Yes.
a birthday?
Christmas gift.
Okay.
He signs more paper. And he unwrapped the baby Ruth.
Right, okay. He told me to give me a candy bar as well.
This is Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Now he's pulling on the root beer. And he goes in to see what the last one is.
That's very creative of her.
It's a pregnancy test.
He's looking at it again.
He's speechless. He's asking if she's pregnant. So she said you're having a baby.
Aww. We're having a baby. He cried.
He's happy. Here's his joy. And he goes in to give her a hug. See, this is one of these things that shows that we don't have to do the big, lavish, over the top. The small things in life do make a lot of sense. And for someone like this who doesn't have a verbal word, different everyday items made it so big for him and made it such a big impact. And just his reaction to it is just priceless for me.
That is priceless.
This is one of these videos that no matter how many times I watch it, it still makes you a little, oh.
Yeah, yeah. Whoever shared this, thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Going off the same note, one of the things that you were saying was being going into the new year 2016 without having any debt. That's
Yes, I read a story. Actually, a friend of mine shared it on her Facebook page about a couple who began this year debt-free after really buckling down and paying off $50,000 worth of debt over a year and a half period. Actually, it was the wife who had the debt, and the husband, through his leadership, helped her eradicate all her debt, and so they're debt-free, which is really a sign of true freedom. You know, having debt is holds you hostage.
They just went into 2016 with open doors.
Yes.
That additional money that they were paying to Sally Mae, if it was Sally Mae, credit cards, if it was credit cards, mortgage, car.
Yes.
They don't have that money to travel to, donate.
Do other things.
Do other things in life.
Save it.
Life to the fullest. So.
And prepare for, things that they want to do. Like you said, travel and not enjoying those things with the burden of knowing that you're indebted to do it.
You always hear them always say, more money, more problems sometimes.
More debt, more problems.
More debt, more problems.
Yeah.
But I do think that being financially freedom, and in this case, debt-free, is one of the most historic feeling that anyone can particularly have. You don't have this dark cloud hanging over your head like you're from London, England.
It is a sign of true freedom. I mean, some folks may want us to believe that acquiring the most and getting an abundance of everything is freedom. That is not freedom when you're indebted to high interest rates and everything else that comes to it and hold you down for the next 20 to 25 years. For
this week, do better. This was my selection. I've been seeing it a lot, and I don't believe that it's being discussed enough. Again, let me first give this blooper warning. Under no circumstances do I support any form of domestic violence.
We do not support domestic violence.
Any form of aggression to any human being or animal. Or plants. We need to slow down on deforestation as well. But there's been an uptick, if one may say, in domestic violence where females are the perpetrator.
Or the aggressors, correct. Which is not often talked about. We always hear of the male aggressor, but rarely the female.
Rarely the female. So for this week, Do Better, we have some videos I want you guys to take a look at, and let's really take a look at this for what it actually is, and see what role that we all can play here, and we'll have a discussion about them.
Okay.
Video evidence. Terry just keyed the side of my car. I actually just got painted over because she sideswiped it.
Oh my goodness. She almost tried to kill him. Wow.
And there it is. She has smashed my vehicle. There goes Terry right there. She has just returned to smash my vehicle. She knocked my vehicle into my neighbor's vehicle, and now she is reversing. And I'm going inside because I want to avoid any further issues. Okay, I think she's gonna finish up. I think she's finishing up on the car.
This is not funny.
After all this shit I've done for you, this is how you treat me, right? Really?
Now she has just smashed my window, my rear windshield. This is crazy. Terry Thompson, and she's calling me now. That is crazy. I've done way too much for this girl for her to ever do something like that to me.
This was hard to watch.
That's just too much.
This was very hard to watch, and this was hard to watch in the sense that, thank God, no one's body was physically harmed in the making. However, there's a multitude of financial damage that was done to individuals who had no part in it. From the next door neighbor who innocently parked their car to this guy who seemed like he did not want anything to do with the relationship. And for that female to go and destroy his property like that, that is unacceptable, uncalled for.
It is unacceptable. And believe it or not, recently I learned of someone who, after a pretty heated argument with their, I would say, companion, they keyed his car. And when I heard it, I'm like, really? There are better ways to respond to conflict.
What I'm going to say is I'm going to push this message home. Grandma, your mama, everybody don't say. You got to love them enough to let them go. Don't go be Jasmine Sullivan busting windows out people's car. That's inappropriate. It's uncalled for. It's uncanny. And it's rude.
Yeah.
If I see you busting somebody's window out...
And it's violent. It's violent. It's just outright violent.
If I see you busting someone's window out, I'm not going to bust yours, but I will call the cops.
Wow.
That's rude. Stop it.
And what does that solve? I mean, what do you get out of it? Okay, his car is damaged.
This one fortunately did not end it in a bloody situation, but the next video we're about to see does. So let's take a look at that one.
So my ex-girlfriend, and she just beat me up because I don't want to be with her anymore. I just called the police on this bitch, and she outside right now. She just cut me, punched me in my nose, but you know what? I'm still a man. I ain't no punk ass man because I ain't hit her back. She bust my lip, she bust my nose, and she cut me with this blade, and she out here. I'm calling the police on you. Fuck away from me. Fuck away from this car, bitch. You crazy, bitch. Know what you did in my face? You. I'm calling the police. The police is on this way. The police. Get off the car. Don't break fucking window.
Oh my goodness.
I don't think the police is on its way.
No.
He's using the phone to record.
What he say he called though? And I shouldn't laugh because this is not funny.
First,
because that has to be hard on him as a man. He's like, I'm not gonna hit her back.
First, let me say, this is not a war against women. This is not a Republican campaign that we're running. But we just had to highlight this, that there are female aggressors on that token. There's a multitude.
And females know that they are aggressors, but it's often perceived as being cute. And, you know, you have some people who are male bashers per se. So when they see these things, it's like, good for him. We don't know what he did.
You know, there's a lot of stigma that says, don't date an Hispanic or Latina woman because she's crazy. She'll chop your junk off and throw it in the woods. And they always say...
I thought it was she'll cut you.
She'll cut your junk off and throw it in the woods.
I never knew the specifics of what she would cut.
That's what she'll cut. The junk off and throw it in the woods. They tell you to stay away from black women and definitely don't date no Jamaican. You know, they have that slogan, Jamaican me crazy. That's from the females, that's from Jamaica.
There's other ways to deal with a separation.
Absolutely.
If somebody break up with you, I mean, for crying out loud, you don't have to try to kill them.
I think in a situation like this, people don't think of the long-term effect. This individual, the male, is going to have a scar. He's physically going to have a scar from this. Now, if he decides to press charges with her, there's going to be lawyer fees, there's going to be a lot of court fees, there's going to be a lot of different things associated with something out of anger. And, you know, oh, baby, I'm sorry, please don't press charges. If I was a male in these circumstances, I would hang her out to dry. I would ask for the maximum time. I would even fake my own death so they lock her up.
Oh, my goodness. Don't you think that's a bit extreme?
No.
Yeah, the bottom line from all of this is male, female, keep your hands to yourself. Do not destroy someone's physical person through hitting, stabbing, shooting after a conflict. And do not destroy their property either, because you wouldn't. It comes from that golden rule. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you.
Well, I was reading an article the other day, and the article actually said that a lot of violence, relationship violence, tend to come up during, you know what time of the year?
What, tax time?
No, Valentine's time.
Valentine's?
Valentine's, because, you know, a particular female, she's expecting roses, bouquet, Valentine's Day dinner, maybe a proposal, a teddy bear, and all she gets is a chocolate from the Dollar Tree, and maybe a used teddy bear.
A used teddy bear?
Maybe that's when they're normally
I mean, what do you want a teddy bear for anyway? I mean, teddy bear for kids.
Do not use Valentine as an excuse for you being crazy for something that you did not receive. For all the pity Valentine's Day people out there.
Can we say, are we on being faithful?
Yes.
How we're going to be faithful during this Valentine's season, which is fastly approaching because they already have the cards out.
I went to my local pharmacy and I saw the poor clerk. She was there picking up everything in the Valentine's Day aisle. When I asked her what happened, she said a client came in and said, F Valentine's.
A consumer?
Yes.
Wow.
And tilt the whole aisle down with all the Valentine's Day items.
Don't do that.
No. That's petty.
Yeah, that's petty.
Not because you ain't gonna get no flowers. Not because you ain't gonna get no teddy bear. Or no chocolate that no one ever eats because it gets them 10 pounds in the waistline.
And this is a time that you hear often from people during this season. It's as if they have to constantly make it known if they don't have someone. I mean, oftentimes if someone has a significant other, they're not broadcasting that, oh, I have someone on this Valentine's Day. But for the folks who don't, which is fine. I mean, being by yourself is not a disease. Why do you have to keep on making mention to it? Oh, I don't have a Valentine. And then for some people, they feel like they have to come up with some way to justify. I don't want no man anyway. Okay, but yes, you do. The fact that you're saying that is showing something. It's
showing that you miss
something, or you have a desire for something, which is fine too. So here's what you can do. If you're gonna feel left out, because you know, sometime in the workplace people get flowers. How you would like to be treated. Treat yourself. Send yourself some flowers. Take yourself out on a date. If you don't want to go through the uncomfortable feelingness of having to sit in the restaurant, get the food to go. Go home, eat the dinner at home, order yourself some flowers. You can send them to your job. And you can just simply put in the card from your special someone. Right now, Pro Flowers, flowers.com, flowers 1-800, flowers from you. They're all having sales. Send them to yourself. $19.99. So when your colleagues or people you know get flowers, you're not over scanning them, trying to find some type of fault with them, saying they're cheap, questioning how much they cost, and just being an outright hater because someone else is happy or someone in their life extended some form of love. This was their love gesture. Don't be a hater.
No.
Okay? Instead, show love to yourself, because in all reality, self-love is what matters first. We have to love ourselves before we expect for someone else to love us. Okay? Self-love is the most important of it all, whether you're with someone or not. Okay?
What was that thing that you were discussing with me about the lover's call that you said you wanted to do on the more positive side of things?
On the more positive side, we want to do a lover's call. And that lover could be you. It could be a significant person in your life. And so with this call, we want you to call us. Call us via text. You could text us a message to that person or about yourself. And doing our episode prior to Valentine's Day, we're going to show these videos. We're going to share these texts. We're going to share these emails. And it's just, we're going to celebrate in the season. So the season of love.
So in fact, you're saying if I'm currently seeing someone, or if I've seen someone and I have that nice romantic Valentine's Day card or love message from them, you want us to share that special message with you?
Absolutely. That is what we want. Please.
Wow.
I mean, I'm hoping to get one. I'm sure you'll get one.
Oh, I have a few. I have to decide which one I'm going to read on air because I don't want anyone to be jealous. In our line this week of being faithful, I know you're a little hesitant about this, but this is all me.
Yes.
We all live in different locations across the United States of America and this globe called Mother Earth. We all experience different weather. People in the Northeast, New England, we have 4 seasons. 4. Summer, fall, winter, and spring. Please stop rushing the season. My beautiful co-host here loves to live in Summerland all year round, knowing we have 4 seasons. I'm sick and tired of it. It's winter. Let's get our hugs, sweatshirt, long johns, snowblowers, and shovels out and enjoy winter. When summer is here, we will enjoy summer. All y'all people that was walking around, oh, it's hot. The air conditioning needs to be turned down. Now it's cold and they're complaining. We can't wait for summer.
I can't wait for summer.
Stay true to the season. Anyone out here complaining about it, I'm just going to throw cold water on all of y'all. Ma'am.
Are you done? You done?
Well, I heard this question and I want to pose it to our viewers. Just to go back a tad bit to the Valentine's Day thing. Recently, I bought a bunch of Powerball tickets, but I wasn't one of the fortunate winners. So I'm not broke or poor, but I'm not richer as I would have liked to be. As everyone said the next day after the lotto, hey, I'm not rich in money, but I'm rich in Christ.
Yes. I'm rich in a lot of things, not monetarily, but who knows what the future holds.
A question for you is, and you don't have to answer now, you could answer in our next episode. Would you give up your husband for $1.5 billion? Would you give up your significant other for the $1.5 billion jackpot? Or would you have?
That's a good question. So if you won the Powerball, would you end the relationship that you're currently in?
No, not end it.
Not end it?
It's one of these options you have to choose.
You have to choose. Oh, would you choose?
In order for you to accept the Powerball, you have to give up your current relationship that you're in. So it's not an option of you have to physically pick one. So I would love to know, you know, will you continue in the relationship that you're on or in for $1.5 billion? Some might say, who needs a relationship? I'm sure you could buy another relationship.
Some may say it. We want to hear from you. You know, you can be anonymous. I mean, if you don't want that person to know that you would choose money over them. But send us a text. We won't know who you are. All we see is the phone number.
Send us a text. Give us a call. Send us your email via our email address, via Facebook. As always remember to subscribe to get our latest update, latest episode.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
So what happens every time an episode comes out, you'll automatically get an alert. Okay? We don't want you to miss it in the future. Alert. Yeah, the correct alert.
And
we love you guys. We're so glad you tuned in today.
Absolutely. And like as always, I love to say, continue being you. And if that's boring, you can always try being me.
All right. And I'll go back to one of my faves. Guard your heart because everything you do flows from it. Until next time.
Peace, love, and happiness.
We'll talk back.